How we doing today, man? As you guys might know, maybe I didn't title the video this. I'm not really sure, but I am changing my rules. I'm changing my trading rules because something has to change. I just wasn't trading well all of September. Didn't trade well yesterday, and it just has to change, right? Because I know I can do better than how we've been trading. So that's what we're gonna do. Market conditions today were pretty wild after this sell-off, right? If you didn't catch the sell-off, we've been chopping. Like, if you look at this, every setup's just not really playing out. So, kind of want to go over my trade today and then talk about what I'm going to be doing with my rules going forwards. But this trade on paper trading right now is pretty solid. But I got it over here. So, it's been really choppy. I have my stop loss under this because this is a 4-hour fair value gap that we traded into. But I also have some liquidity right here that we might have a resweep before going higher because we are just very high resistant. If not, we probably have a setup to these lows another time. But my target is just this high here and the midpoint of the day, and then obviously all-time highs. Midpoint of the day is right here. But yeah, what is this zone I marked out? This is a zone that I actually took my trade off of. It's the all-time high accumulation zone, like support level. Right, we had a trade into it here. We had all-time highs. We traded into this consolidation. Right, rejected it, traded through it, poked above, found the midpoint of support, bounced out of it, and then what do you know? We drop into it. Now we found some support through the market open session here in this area. So I marked this out just kind of like, I don't trade support and resistance, obviously, but it's good confluence, right? It's just like any other confluence in the market, just like a fair value gap or anything else. It's just something that you can expect maybe to find some support. And we did. So today's trade was really simple. I was never going to short because I'm just not going to short. Look where we opened at market. I mean, we did dump. And this is why, again, if you follow me on TikTok, you might have seen my video I made about Big Char. He took a trade here. And again, he's a good trader. I'm not trying to hate on his trading, but I don't think that this is a trade that you should be taking. But we had SMT at the highs. Right here, we had SMT and then a 2-minute inversion. He took that trade and it worked out. And that's great. But I don't see the market that way. I don't have confidence that it's going to just dump from here because, again, literally opening at all-time highs. But market does open, and we just drop and drop and drop and drop and drop. And at this point, you can't get anything on the long side or short side. So what was I then waiting for? I was then waiting for something to happen, right? And we got this fair value gap. We reswept the low. ES at the time reswept. We reswept. Then we came up, swept this internal high. So we had SMT. We came back down. And this is actually where I took my one and only trade of the day. When we inversed both gaps right here, we inversed this 1-minute gap and this 1 minute. The reason why I didn't mind resweeping this low is because we had already swept Asia low. So we already swept, we came back down one more time to sweep Asia lows. So this ended up working out perfectly. This blue line is Asia lows. So right here you can see we made equal lows with Asia lows, came up, respected the fair value gap, swept the equal lows, came up, didn't displace through, came back down. And I look at this as a kind of a rejection. So we had a green up close 5-minute candle. So if we take the wick, if we mark out the wick, right, of that 5-minute candle close, the new 5-minute candle opened at 9:55. So this candle trades into the wick. This blue box is the wick of the 5-minute bullish candle. We reject off this level, and then we see a higher price. So that being said, when we got this displacement, I entered long. I went long right here on the Apex and on the My Funded Futures account. I went obviously 5 micros on each account. I was targeting this as my main draw on liquidity, as my main target. But I also took a partial. I partialed on my accounts here. So I took. Why did that move? I took. Okay, hold up. That's annoying. I took one contract off here on my Apex accounts because, again, this is where I was going to go break even because I wanted to go break even at this level. We didn't actually grab it on this trade, on this candle. We came back down and then pushed through it. So I'm always going to go break even at that point. That's why I ended up trailing. I was going to actually wait a little bit higher to take profit a little bit more points. But when we made equal highs and came down, I was like, okay, I'm going to definitely go break even because at this point I'm going to refresh our thing here. Because the candle is messed up. But at this point, now it's not loading. So we took profit, and then we got stopped at break even. So I took profit, 1 micro. We'll just go here, right? Took profit at these equal highs, took profit, and stopped at break even. So that was the trade there. And same thing on the Apex account, or on the top, or the whatever it's called. I actually took profit a little bit higher though. I took the profit around here as my first take profit, so I made a little bit more. That looks like about $90. So $90 means what? 45 each, so that's 23. So I got like 23 points. So I took profit above this candle right here. I took it for about 23 points right there. So I took profit here, 2 micros off, got stopped the rest at break even. I'm fine partialing there. Now we're getting a really efficient price run. So now I would move my stop loss actually to break even because we should at least hit the first take profit right after swinging out these highs, getting big displacement. But with the high resistance liquidity, I won't be too shocked if we actually end up coming back down, stopping this trade at break even. But we will have a 5-minute fair value gap ideally. So I would always just go break even at this point, and we'll let this trade play out. So this would have been a banger trade. It would have been a really tough hold because we actually end up having to wait for this SMT to get put in, and we made equal lows, so it'd be kind of sketchy. But we did have an SMT here, so I guess the best possible entry would have been waiting for this SMT internally, and then getting this IFVG right here, or then waiting here. Boom, this displacement you could have entered on this candle, gone breaking me this high. A lot of things you could have done, but this is my one trade, and obviously, I guess you guys can assume my new rules is going to be back to 1 trade a day. And I did 1 trade a day, and as much as I wanted to keep trading, because hey, I mean, it doesn't actually matter, but because the $100 days will come, that's very easy. But I am $13 off a winning day on my funded futures accounts, which is what's really nice about my funded futures, that you only have to make 100. So that's really just hitting a winning trade. So I just need to have 5 winning days, literally. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna have a winning day under 100. This was just the day that I got stopped at break even. But that being said, I really wanted to take more trades, right? I really wanted to take another setup because, right, you feel like you didn't do anything for the day. And I'm like, okay, people really want to hear me talk about making $33. So technically on the day I made like $30. That's what, 90 plus 87. So technically, and this is what I really have to remember, is that, hey, 30 times 3 plus 87, like I didn't just make $30. I made $177. Obviously I can't withdraw that money, but eventually I will be able to. So eventually I'll be able to withdraw that money, and that's the part that we have to remember is that, and I'll actually kind of keep my stop loss here just for the visual, but I'm gonna get rid of this support level and get rid of this line right here, and yeah, so yeah, the reason why I was kind of frustrated is because it's like, you feel like you didn't do anything. It's like, wow, I didn't make any money. But actually, though, if you have 20 accounts, and let's pull up the calculator again, Q later, and you have 20 accounts and you make $30 in each account, you times that by 30, you made $600. And if you have the buffer built, you can withdraw that money. So 600 is nothing, is not nothing. So that's kind of what I have to remind myself, is that slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady will win the race in the end, and I have to just believe that, right? I'm going to actually change my TPs here. I'm going to take profit at the midpoint or tick under midpoint, and then I'm going to take profit at the order block right here, right at the bottom of the order block. So this OB, and these highs. Take profit at the level underneath right here, because we've had a lot of rejection here, and then yeah, right underneath the midpoint. So but yeah, so anyways, keep going with the trade. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go back to 1 trade a day because I was trading so much better when I did 1 trade a day. I literally got 2 payouts from that. I brought an account from 1,500 to drawdown, and I just was more confident. I had the confidence today to take the trade. I had my stop loss at the swing low, and I had the confidence to let the trade do its thing because I knew this is my only trade. And if I can build the trust with myself that I know no matter what, if I know no matter what, I'm only taking 1 setup a day, it gives me this trust that I can say, hey, I'm going to wait for something really good. And it also allows me to just not be too scared to lose, right? If I lose, I'm done for the day anyways. If I win, I'm done for the day. And the one trade just gives you this peace of mind where you can just say, hey, um, like I'm done for the day, right? I'm not going to overtrade. So if I can get to the point where I can trust myself that I'm always taking one trade no matter what and I never take more, then that allows me, it gives me this confidence that, hey, even if I took a bad trade, let's say I just took a really bad setup and I longed right here and I ended up getting stopped out here. As long as I'm done for the day, you can make a mistake and you can come back from it. You can't come back from the mistakes that, oh, you take a loss here, you get break even, you try and enter long again, you lose, try again, you lose, try again, you lose, and then boom, now you try and short here and then you lose, right? You can't come back from over trading, you can't come back from over leveraging, but you can come back from a bad trade. So if you keep one thing constant, which is, hey, I do one trade no matter what each day, and you stop, even if you have a day where maybe you didn't see the market well, maybe you took a trade that's like, hey man, I should never take this trade, this was a bad trade. You can live with yourself because, hey, everyone makes mistakes. Everyone's going to take bad trades. Everyone could do better, and you can say, hey, I didn't blow up. But if you take a bad trade and then another bad trade and then another bad trade and another bad trade, and you don't have any ceiling or floor, you could just lose everything in one day, and you're gonna be like, wow, like I just lost thousands of dollars of profit. That's what I did on my top step accounts early, like a few weeks ago. I literally blew $2,000 of real money because I got emotional on one day and just didn't step away and kept taking bad trades. So that will never happen if I can just trust one thing, which is, hey, I never have bad trades, or I never let myself take more than one bad trade in a day, so I'll never blow an account. And then ideally, you're just taking good setups, and then you just slowly but surely, make good profits. So that's kind of just the goal, which is do one trade, and I need to stick to it. I really, really, really need to stick to it because that way, hey, even if you take a bad trade, right, you're still not having a terrible day because you can come back from just one small mistake. So we're going to have this 5-minute gap, it looks like. I don't know why my thing is taking so long to load. So we're going to have this 5-minute gap right here. Be interested to see how it trades through it. But, yeah, so one trade a day, as much as I don't like it, I'm going to have to go to it, and I know you guys have been probably wanting me to go back to one trade a day. So, again, like a lot of people I've seen comments, I read the comments. What happened to one trade a day? What happened? Honestly, it was just my ego got in the way. And not even ego, but because ideally I know, hey, if I'm only taking good setups, there's nothing wrong with trading multiple times in a day. If you're taking an A-plus setup, you're taking an A-plus setup. If it looks great, it looks great. The problem comes down to the fact that I can't trust myself to only take good setups. I can't trust myself to not take stabs at trash trades because I can't trust myself that after I lose, I'm not going to want to make it back. So if I only ever do one trade, I can't do that. So I'm going to go back to it, and we're going to get a lot of good results from it. So again, at the end of the day, man, it's just about building up accounts, building up buffers, because this $30 day across 20 accounts is still decent, right? It's still decent. Like, it's obviously, and that's like the smallest win you can have. Like $30 is like the smallest winning day you can have. So imagine when you just have $100 across all the accounts, right? So these accounts are back almost up to $900. I'm literally just about $700 away, $800 away from getting a $500 payout from each account. That's more than enough reward to say, hey, let me just try and do the right thing. Let me just try and lock in here. So yeah, definitely just got to keep staying focused on one trade a day. The hardest thing was just like today, I took a trade and I just really wanted to take more trades. And I was considering just buying an eval account that I have for the month that I can just take as many trades as I want. But what's that going to do for me? It's not going to teach me patience. It's not going to teach me discipline and be more of a good trader. And I have to just remember, man, I want to see me do well. You guys want to see me do well. And I have to remember that too, that, I'm not here to put on a show and performance. Yesterday's video did really good, right? It was a 2 of 10 or a 3 of 10, which means out of the last 10 videos, it got the third most views. But it wasn't a good day. I overtraded. I did the wrong thing. So I don't need to be here to put on a show. I just need to be here to trade well and to get better as a trader and make my money through trading. So I'm excited to go back to one trade a day. Again, it's going to be difficult because it does stink. It does stink to do that because a lot of times you overthink, or your day ends really quick and you might lose really quick. And trust me, man, the days where I would get into a trade and I would lose within 30 seconds, that day was really, really hard to only do one trade, right? Because ideally you win every trade. And then it's just like, okay, well, I won, so I'm done. But you really get tested when you get punched in the face and you take a loss and you say, okay, you got to look at yourself and say, hey, man, I'm done for the day. Even though we lost here, it's 9:34 and we're done for the day, but, it is what it is. That's a difficult thing to do. That's what makes you a real man in trading. That's what makes you I'm a real good trader. That's what's difficult. That's the hard part with trading. It's easy to win. It's very easy to win, man. It's also very easy to get lucky. So I have a feeling this thing stops us all, like, comes all the way down, bro. So I'm going to keep my stop here, and then I think we're going to get a resweep at this low. I'm just, like, feeling it. But if we get a resweep, I'll look for another paper trade. But it doesn't really matter. It's paper. Because that'd be, like, dude, look at this dump. And that just shows you, man, when you're in choppy conditions, you're at all-time highs, and the market's not doing anything near open. Once you get this for the next hour, like, just step away, right? There's no need to keep taking more trades. You're not going to take profit. It's not going to be a great time for you. And yeah, that's what's happening right now. Is it's not a great time for anyone trading long or short. I mean, if we hold this 5-minute gap, it still looks pretty good. But I mean, like, come on, dude. Like, what is this random dump? It's a really nice rejection, but still. So yeah, that's our day. It's nothing exciting. It's nothing great, but we made money, and we're just slowly chipping away. Right? If we can make $1,000 on our My Fund Futures account, I'm withdrawing at max payout. So that's pretty nice. So yeah, man. Code Diego on Apex, My Fund Futures, Take Profit Trader, and Alpha Futures. Always code Diego. Those are the only 4 I have right now. I'm trying to work on getting a code with I forget which one it's called, but the one that you can get instant funding, that's pretty cool. But I don't think they've emailed me back. I'll gotta check. But yeah, man. Not much, like, we're not going to have any emotional days anymore if we go to one trade day. We're not going to be getting super, super distraught because, yeah, we're just going to do the one trade day, and we're going to be chilling, and we're going to be just emotionally in control, and we're going to be a good trader. So you guys, mark my words, are about to see some of my best results ever in October. Best results ever. I can guarantee it because I'm going to be doing what I need to do. So something I've always needed to do, which is follow my rules, but you know what? Like, it just has to be commitment. Right? I'm not trading if I'm not following my rules. And one trade day is the easiest thing I can do. Because, again, I don't mind. I'm not going to sit here and beat myself up if I take a bad trade. If I take a bad trade that was rushed, as long as I step away. Win, lose, draw. If I say, you know what, that was a terrible trade, but I'm still done for the day. That's the key to success. Because you're going to make mistakes. You're going to take bad trades. But you should never make the mistake that you choose the mistake, which is, hey, I'm over trading. I'm revenge trading. I'm increasing my size. I'm gambling. You should never make those mistakes. Those ones are unexcusable. Taking a bad trade is something that happens. Maybe you think something looked good and it didn't really. Maybe you missed something. Maybe you just got a little impatient. But as long as you nip it in the tail, then you're on your way. So yeah, that's what we're going to go and do is just be better and be great. So I'm excited for that, obviously. Hopefully you guys are excited to see that as well. And I know you guys have been begging me to go back to one trade a day, and I really should have, but, it just feels convenient not to. It feels convenient to do multiple trades a day because it just, why limit yourself? Why say, oh, I'm done for the day after, again, sometimes you take a trade and you lose at 9:33 and then the banger comes at 9:50. And it's like, wow, I'm really done for the day. But that's the reality. Until I can prove to myself that I do the right thing every single time, I have to do one trade a day. And that's what got us the payout. So, and also, too, it's like, if you take one trade, why would you, like, there's not really often, sometimes there's 2 good setups in the day. But it's very rare that there's 3 good setups. And a lot of times you might lose your first trade. Like, the only reason you're taking a second trade is because you lost the first one. So try and figure out why you're losing all the first trades, right? Try and see what's not working. Why am I losing this first trade every single time, right? Why am I always having to take a second trade? So that's why I'm going to have to keep studying because, again, like, you're only taking a second trade if you lost the first one. So why is it that you're taking a second trade so often? And also, think about it logically, right? If you're playing, like, let's say you're playing poker and you get kings and you, like, let's say you just wait until you get pocket kings, right? It's not the best hand in the world. Like, ace is the best hand. But if you were told that you would play a flip against ace, king, and I want to see the probability here. Ace, king, a king versus king odds, right? In Texas Hold'em, pocket kings are a significant favor against ace, king, right? Winning about 69 to 70%, 6-7% of the time, and heads up situation. So, if you're not a fan of poker, this is not gonna make any sense. But just the odds are 70% chance, right? You have a 70% chance of winning with kings versus ace king. You would take that bet every single day. That's like having a 70% win rate in the markets, right? If you were to lose with kings versus ace king, that's unlucky, right? They spiked a king on the turn, whatever. Why would you then not just wait? Let's say you're not playing any blinds. You can wait one day, the next day, you have kings again versus ace king. 70% chance again. New deck, right? Would you not rather wait for that opportunity and then go all in again? Or not all in, but risk your $100 again or whatever you risk per trade and then say, hey, let's see what happens. Wouldn't you much rather want to just say, wait for the ace king versus kings? Because you have a higher percent chance, right? So then what happens when you revenge trade is your setup is like having kings versus ace king. You can lose, right? There's 3 aces in that deck. There's straight outs. There's suited outs, right? You're not guaranteed to win. But I'm taking ace king versus kings every single time. Every single time. Why would you then, if you lose ace king, immediately buy back in and go all in again on a hand with way worse odds, right? That's like saying, man, I've pocket 7s, I'm playing against pocket 10s, but you know what? I don't care. I just want to make my money back. That's how you lose more, right? So that's what it is with trading. You take your first loss, but you took it on a 70% win rate. You took it on an ace king versus king's hand, and you say, you know what, man? Like, I'm just going to wait for that situation again. I'm going to pick my spots better. Instead of just revenge trading, emotion trading, taking the next thing you see, right? The very next thing you see. Because then you're taking a setup that has 30% chance to win, right? Any 2 cards in the deck can win. Just like any time you push a button, you could win. But why wouldn't you wait for the highest percent chance? And that's why, doing one trade a day, it might spread things out. But what's the difference between taking 3 trades in a day versus 3 trades in a week? There is no difference. There literally is no difference. It's just the time. It's just the time in between. You're too rushed. You're too focused on getting things done today, tomorrow, the next day, right? If you took 3 trades in one day, you're overtrading. There probably wasn't even 3 great trades, but let's say there was. But then you don't trade for the rest of the week. What's the difference in taking a trade Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right? 1 trade a day. There's no difference. So you taking 1 trade and losing and then waiting the next day and taking another trade, it doesn't change your odds of winning as long as you're taking good setups. It just, you might miss that second setup for the day. There's thousands of steps. You know how many setups you miss not trading? If you don't trade PM session, do you know how many setups you miss not trading PM session? Right? You miss thousands and thousands and thousands, but you're not worried about that. Why? Because you don't trade PM session, right? So if you only take 1 trade a day, you're not worried about that second trade, that third trade, that fourth trade, because guess what? You take 1 trade a day. And that's fine because the next day you might win. The day after that you might win. And most of the time you're going to find that your first trade, if you're patient, you wait for the right one, you win your first trade because you waited for that great setup. So it's going to teach you patience. It's going to make me better. I'm minimum doing 1 trade a day all of October. All of October. I will not let myself take more than 1 trade all of October minimum, no matter what. And guess what? We're probably going to get a payout on my Epix accounts. We're probably going to get a payout on my Funded Futures accounts. And we're probably going to pass another My Funded Futures account. So, this is going to work. It's going to work. And even if it doesn't, I'll still lose in a more graceful way like I should, right? That's how you should lose. It's by taking 1 trade a day, 1 trade a day. What are the odds? If I'm not going to lose more than... There's no way I lose. On average, I'll probably lose 150 a day, right? Because what's a 150? I'm doing 2 micros on Apex as well. So 2 micros, 150 divided by 4, that's like 37 points. If I have a 37 point stop on average, right? All right, so that's 150. We have distance to drawdown. We have 25,890 in our account. We have a drawdown of 24,413. That's a drawdown of $1,500, right? So if we divide that by 150, that would take me losing 10 straight days. I would have to lose 10 straight days. And if that happens, that happens. But literally, what are the odds that I lose 10 straight days? And my winning days, let's say my average winning day is $100, right? To get to that buffer of 1,600 minus 900, right? I need $700. If I can win 7 days in a row, I mean, that's a lot, but it doesn't really matter about the winning part. But to lose, I'd have to lose 9 straight days in a row to blow my account. Almost 10. So it's like, what are the odds of that, right? What are the odds of that? Same thing with if my average loss is about 40 points on my Funded Futures account. I have $2,000 there. If I lose 400, I'd have to lose 5 straight days. But if I win 3 straight days and my average win is $300 times I have 400, then I'll have $1,200. So if I win 3 straight days, I'll have a payout. So it just kind of shows you, man, just be consistent with what you're doing. Show up for yourself and do 1 trade a day. Again, it's not my favorite, but it's what I have to do. So that was my trade recap from today. That's the trade I took. This looks like a better model to these highs. I want to see this continue now. And if we don't deliver up higher, then this is really bad price action, in my opinion, right? We've rejected midpoint CE of this fair value gap. We've had displacement. We should run to these highs. Like, there's really no other reason besides just generating liquidity. So, and again, it could come down, but we should go. Like, this should work. But again, shoulda, coulda, wouldas in trading. Yeah, nothing's guaranteed. So, yeah, man. I'm excited to see how October goes for me, trying to just trade better, smarter. And yeah, we're already up 160 on the Apex counts for this month. So we just got to keep going, keep pushing, keep grinding, and good things will happen, man. So I'm excited about that. Can't get FOMO, can't get trying to force results, right? God's timing will be there. So Apex, My Fun and Future, Take Profit Trader, and Alpha Futures. Code Diego will always get you the best discount being ran. Like always, you already know. So appreciate all you guys. Let me know how you guys did today. What trades you took? Did you get chopped up in this? Did you risk it all for the shorts off open? Did you risk it all for shorts at all-time highs? Did you get chopped up here? Did you take a win here, or did you take this trade I'm in? Let me know how you guys did. How you liking October so far? Glad to be out of September. Was September your best month? Right? Like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys today, Thursday. Dang, man, this week's already over. I'll see you guys tomorrow in the live stream in Discord. Peace out.